Good morning, everyone. So happy to have such a nice full crowd here in the new council chambers of our city building. First time here for State of the City address. On behalf of the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce, our governmental affairs project team, and the city of Bowling Green, welcome everyone. I'd like to acknowledge a few of the guests that have come today from Governor DeWine's office, Lou Ann Cook. From the State Treasurer's Office, Pat McCulley. Office of the Attorney General, Kim Precep. And from the State Auditor's Office, Lori Brody. I would like to introduce our mayor, Mike Osbacher.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you today. In a concession to age, I better put these on, and I'm also mindful of the fact that someone that I trust very much told me recently that I probably should wear them because when I don't wear them, I squint. And when I squint, I look angry. And let me tell you, I'm not angry. I have no reason to be angry. We have a great story to tell today, and I'm eager to share some really great news with you today. So I want to welcome all of you to the 2024 State of the City Address. Thank you to those of you joining us in person this morning, as well as those listening via radio. Thank you, Clint, for all your great work to keep our residents informed of local issues and for being here today to broadcast the event. We're also recording this morning, so if you're watching this after April 18th, please know that your time and interest in Bowling Green are appreciated. Also, to the Chamber of Commerce and its Governmental Affairs Project team, I'm grateful for your sponsorship of this presentation and this opportunity for community engagement. I especially want to acknowledge the Executive Director of the Chamber, Mary Hinkleman, for her leadership of the Chamber and her consistent community advocacy. We are joined today by some local elected officials that I'd like to acknowledge. We have Commissioner Craig LaHote with us this morning. We have Council members Greg Robinette and Bill Harold. We have School Board member Dr. Artie Gagne. And some of our local partners that are present today include Superintendent Dr. Ted Hazelman, Stan Kordecki from Wood County Hospital, and Bowling Green State University President Rodney Rogers. Thank you all for coming. And also I need to acknowledge some of those people most important to me sitting in the front row, my wife Tony and my parents Tony, Sandy Osbacher, and my son Alex. Thank you for being here today. The conclusion of 2023 marked the end of my first term as mayor. As I start my second term of office, I want to thank the community for its continuing support. I'm both grateful and humbled to serve as mayor of my hometown and to be part of the collective effort to govern our community. Bowling Green achieved significant progress and success in 2023. Throughout the year, we also made forward movement on many important initiatives, planting seeds for the future to continued focused community growth, investing in our core assets, and managing community expectations. The venue for today's presentation highlights a significant 2023 success, this beautiful council chamber at the City Administration Building. Like the seeds we are now planting for the future, the plans for this building were in development for many years, and it's been exciting to see this accomplishment come to fruition. The move to this building occurred in July 2023, and since then, we've continued to settle into this space. We see a significant improvement in customer interactions, and the working conditions for our staff are much, much better. I think this building is also emblematic of where I see Bowling Green today. We're on an upward trajectory. As we developed and executed the plans for this building, we talked a lot about the importance of blending the past with the needs of today. Specifically, it was important for us to restore the historic facade of the original post office building and also to expand into a modern space that was able to house technology and to address the needs of employees and citizens both today and well into the future. Likewise, our community remains proud of our heritage, and we're committed to honoring our past. Through the hard work of the Historic Preservation Commission, active community members, and the support of our planning department, historic signs will very soon be installed in central locations in the city that will allow us to share our history with residents and visitors and to celebrate that which came before us and helped us become the great community that we are today. With the past as our foundation, we also recognize that a modern city needs to evolve and to embrace new opportunities. The past cannot be a weight that holds us down. It's a base on which to build. And today, we build. This is taking many forms in Bowling Green, including a bright outlook for our schools with the building of a new high school coming very soon, strong employment and growth in our industrial community, strong enrollment, increasing enrollment at Bowling Green State University, along with investment in the campus, investment in future commercial and residential areas of the city, and many other reasons for continuing community optimism. Fulfilling these opportunities and aspirations requires careful planning and continuing awareness of the need to maintain our core assets and also manage growth in a responsible manner. Municipal government, it could be argued, is one of the most impactful levels of government. We reach people where they're living their lives every day. Every day, citizens and businesses of Bowling Green are impacted by the work of the City of Bowling Green. More than 300 employees provide services that support our community in numerous ways. Consider the electricity that runs to homes and businesses, the infrastructure to clean, treat, and move drinking water and wastewater, the many components needed to support travel throughout the community, the parks where the community recreates and embraces nature, and the professional police and fire services who are well represented here today. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. And as these people are performing their work for Bowling Green, they are supported by the people working within this building. So too, Bowling Green citizens are supported by the employees here. This is the place where bills are processed, permits are issued, plans are engineered, citizen services are administered, employees are hired and supported, communications are transmitted, plans are reviewed, housing assistance is processed, technology is deployed, and laws are implemented. And we really do a lot of things here, don't we? This is also the place where the legislative branch conducts its open meetings and listens to its citizens, and where the city's many boards and commissions, which are comprised of citizens who are willing to offer their time and expertise to help make the city better, meet to consider various aspects of the community. And because of this great new space, the efficiency, effectiveness, and experience has been improved. The employees who work in the City Administrative Services Building are grateful for the new space and are proud of the work they perform in support of our city colleagues, as well as the citizens and businesses of the community. This work is important to the professional administration of our local government, and this new space is the core of local government operations. Speaking of government operations, Bowling Green had an outstanding 2023, and I want to reflect on some of the major accomplishments of the last year. From a financial standpoint, the city is in stable position. This allows us to continue with essential services, support the city's labor force, and meet the ongoing operational and capital expenses. General governmental expenditures were approximately $44 million last year, and utility fund expenditures were $107.5 million. Of this spending, approximately $33.6 million went towards capital purchases, and another $1.7 million of ARPA special revenue funds were utilized for capital purposes. Considering the assets for which the city is responsible, which includes major infrastructure items as well as our water and wastewater treatment plants, stability and the need to invest in ongoing maintenance along with the necessary replacements, improvements, and facility expansions is vital to responsible operations. We'll discuss some specifics of these investments during this address. But to give a perspective, some of the 2023 capital investments included $9.7 million for general utility capital, street repair, $5 million, water sewer capital improvements, $13 million, general governmental capital improvements, $1.4 million. I'm pleased to report that income tax were up 4.4% in 2023 as compared to 2022. This is reflective of an upward community employment environment. Bowling Green has experienced great success in its economic development efforts, and we continue to capitalize our numerous community attributes to advance the city. Bowling Green Economic Development continues to explore, innovate, and apply creative approaches that ensure Bowling Green remains competitive and adaptive to today's business needs. This includes strides to bolster the economic diversity and vitality of our community. According to Bowling Green Economic Development, 19 Bowling Green companies created new jobs in 2023. Additionally, 27 companies reported making capital investments last year that totaled over $92 million. There were also 4 project wins reported in 2023 that created hundreds of new jobs in Bowling Green. These all contribute to Bowling Green's strong and steady history of economic development expansion. It's important, too, that we continue to support our existing businesses, and the city, working in tandem with Bowling Green Economic Development, continues to understand and work towards goals that support both stability and deliberate growth. This means that as a community, we grow with intention, recognizing that our community must maintain its identity and support existing businesses while also embracing opportunities to expand in ways that enhance and support the town. I believe that both are possible. Improving the quality of life in Bowling Green is an integral part of our efforts and took many forms in 2023. This included the updating of the city's zoning code, which was a multi-year process. This update sought to align goals and recommendations from recent planning documents and to modernize the city's zoning regulations. The city's planning and community development departments were active in many areas in 2023 with positive results that are both measurable and aesthetically impactful. In the commercial area, 44 permits were issued. Additionally, there were 14 permits for industrial and 7 for institutional construction. In 2023, there were 270 residential zoning permits issued, including 29 for new homes, and I'm confident we're going to exceed that in 2024. Low inventory of housing has been an ongoing challenge in the community. In 2023, we worked in several areas to encourage growth of housing options. This effort included temporarily suspending certain fees for new home construction and expanding the city's Community Reinvestment Area program to offer incentives for new home building and major remodeling. Also, with the adoption of rental registration and self-inspection regulations by City Council in recent years, the city team has been developing the necessary support structure for these programs. This work is one component of our effort to support improvement in our neighborhood conditions. I expect this work to be ongoing as we focus our attention on developing additional ways to improve the quality of life in our neighborhoods. Some of this work is proactive, aimed at enacting regulations that support residents' efforts to improve their neighborhoods, while other work is reactive, responding to violations. There are numerous other initiatives, including the adoption of the Exterior Property Maintenance Code, which is designed to help us maintain the health and safety of our neighborhoods. In 2023, the city expanded its work with Wood County Health District through its exterior housing contract. Through this partnership and the efforts of city employees, the city works proactively to coordinate a plan to remedy concerns with housing conditions throughout the city. The city has a robust housing assistance program that's primarily funded by HUD's Community Development Block Grant Program. These programs were enhanced in recent years with additional funding from the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. By the end of 2024, ARPA housing funds will have provided $700,000 of assistance to over 70 homeowners in our community. Some of the projects that were facilitated by this program include over 20 roof replacements, approximately 30 air conditioning and furnace replacements, a dozen door and window replacements, and many others. These are improvements that are affecting the quality of people's lives and are also having a positive impact in our neighborhoods. And I'm thankful for the efforts of those administering this program. In addition to the great work taking place in our neighborhoods, ARPA funding is continuing to positively impact our community in many ways. This is a long list. Working with City Council, ARPA funding has been used for residential street paving, grants for housing repairs, grants to community nonprofit organizations, support for pool admittance fees and recreation fees for young people in the community, improvements at the Carter Park Disc Golf Course, the construction of downtown restrooms, the construction of a walking path with improved security lighting at City Park, financial support for the construction of the inclusive playground at Carter Park, which has been an exceptional addition to our community, Mark's radios for our police and fire divisions, which has improved communications for all these first responders. Additionally, ARPA funding has provided funds or matching funds for future projects that will include a side use path connecting Crim School to Carter Park and a side path to connect the high school to the community center. Projects that are nearing execution include a business incubator, alleyway improvements in the downtown area, pickleball courts at the community center, and a dog park to be located at Ridge Park. These last items are particularly representative of the strength and the importance of community collaboration and partnership. One example is the work that has been done in support of pickleball. In 2023, the Parks and Recreation Department began meeting and working in earnest with a group of pickleball enthusiasts to plan and fundraise for outdoor courts to be added next to the community center. In partnership with the Parks and Recreation Foundation, to date, more than $110,000 has been raised by this group. This money, combined with ARPA funding allocated by City Council, is propelling this project forward in the very near future. In 2023, 15.3 miles of city streets were paved, and 190 curb ramps were replaced. 10.68 miles of those paving projects were funded by ARPA dollars. Improving traffic safety is always of critical importance in this community, and this is true for everyone using our roads. Roundabouts have been shown to help reduce critical crashes, in addition to the environmental benefits of reducing traffic congestion and emissions. 2023 saw the completion of the roundabout at Worcester and Campbell Hill. This is an example of a very long-term execution of a community plan. For many of us, we don't really know that infrastructure and safety planning or safety improvements are being made until we see orange barrels and road closed signs appear on a street that we travel every day. However, the appearance of these orange barrels and the construction crews that follow close behind represent years of work and planning that took place to get the project to that final implementation stage. A study of East Worcester Street was completed in 2015 with a multi-phase action plan. The Worcester-Campbell Hill roundabout was part of that strategy that started at I-75 interchange several years ago. The newest roundabout at Campbell Hill improves transportation safety and aesthetics at a major community entry point. This work also included replacement of a water main along Worcester Street and the relocation of a sanitary pump station away from the intersection. It's notable to me now that the construction barrels are gone and the construction is finished, the new lights are installed, and the landscaping is coming to life, that this is a significant improvement at a very, very visible and important entryway into our community. I think that in time this will prove to be a significant improvement. This last point is important as it's a reminder that our community has made a significant commitment to investing in its municipal utilities, and our proactive and consistent work in this area is an outstanding community strength. This matters for many reasons, ranging from the impact on customers in the form of reliable electricity and safe drinking water, to other important measures as EPA compliance with proper treatment procedures and maintenance and prevention that reduces outages. Speaking of reliability, our Municipal Utilities Department has recently been awarded a Reliable Public Power Provider, or RP3, designation from the American Public Power Association, recognizing us providing reliable and safe electric service. The city has achieved this designation since 2011, with this being the second time that the city has received the diamond level, which is the highest scoring category for this award. This designation demonstrates a commitment to continued proficiency and ongoing improvement to reliability, safety, workforce development, and safety improvements. It's also important to point out that there will be no utility rate increases in 2024. Given the current economic market, I suggest that this is an impressive achievement, and that this confirms that our strategic approach to be steady and responsible in the management of our municipal utilities is working. A current project that supports this conclusion is the Village Subdivision Waterline Improvement Project. This project includes electrical upgrades and waterline replacement in one of the oldest subdivisions in the city. These improvements, which will include new water mains and customer service lines to the curb, valves and hydrants, will completely overhaul the underground infrastructure in this neighborhood. Once the waterline portion of the project is complete, new curbs and catch basins will be installed and full-width street paving will follow. While residents in this neighborhood began seeing construction activity in March of this year, planning for this project began in early 2021. This demonstrates again that it can take years to develop large projects like this one. The scope of work must be determined, engineering and design must be finalized, and funding must be secured. From roundabouts and other roadway improvements to shared use paths and everything in between, the same multi-year planning approach is necessary for every project that takes place in our city. Again, this balanced, planned, and sustainable approach to community growth, investing in capital upgrades and improvements, is critical for our community's stability. Another component of community stability and quality of life are the professional safety services provided by both our police and fire divisions. This past year, Bowling Green Police Division increased its capabilities to respond, render aid, and deter crime by enhancing technology. Bowling Green PD has added license plate reading devices in numerous strategic locations in the city. These cameras assist in numerous ways, such as identifying stolen vehicles and helping to apprehend wanted persons. We also have 2 drones that are now in service or in use by the division to get a bird's eye view of incidents in large gatherings. In keeping with the importance of safety in the community, technology in the form of a traffic and speed detection survey tool is also assisting BGPD in determining the best locations and times to enforce speed violations and deter hazardous traffic violations. Be careful out there. We're watching. In a moment, I'll talk more about community considerations for supporting and maintaining our safety services, but one component to highlight as we look back at 2023 is the city's very fast response times for emergencies. This past year, the Fire Division was awarded the Mission Lifeline Gold Plus Award from the American Heart Association and also added the Target Stroke Honor Roll designation because of prompt recognition, treatment, and transportation of patients suffering strokes and heart attacks. Only 27 agencies, thank you, only 27 agencies in Ohio and 324 agencies nationwide received this award in 2024. Certainly, this is something for us to be proud of. And I am proud to say that this is the 3rd year that Bowling Green has received this award. I think this is an impressive and important achievement and should provide great assurance to all residents of our community. As our community is growing, so too is the demand for service. Call volume continues to increase. Last year, there were 3,596 runs for emergency incidents by Bowling Green Fire Division. In looking at trends, Bowling Green Fire Division recognized a high percentage of call overlap, meaning they were called multiple directions, multiple locations at the same time. And this could potentially result in service delays. The division has made changes so that a 3rd ambulance can be available on most days to ensure that a prompt and professional response is available when needed. We also recognize that our safety services have a key role in quality of life, often through education. In the fire division, that took the form of 672 fire safety and pre-plan inspections. Fire also participated in 101 public education events last year. I'm also very proud of the great quality of life and peace of mind program that was initiated by the fire division to install Knox boxes at homes of 109 elderly and disabled residents in the city. Knox boxes are used to gain access in an emergency when a patient is unable to get to the door themselves. Having this box saves precious time and costly damage to the doors and windows of residences. Knowing the impact of this program and the service that it provides to our residents, the Fire Division continues to seek ways of expanding funding to support this program. So we've covered a lot of community achievements, and before I move into discussing priorities and planned activities for 2024 and beyond, I want to reflect for just a moment on the people who provide many of the services to Bowling Green citizens, our city employees, many of whom are seated here to my right today. Having worked with the staff in my years as a member of City Council and now in my role as mayor, I'm consistently impressed by our city employees. One of the interesting things about working in government is that we often talk about the city. Well, that means our shared community. Here at work, the city also means our organization and the people we employ. Their professionalism, training, and dedication are demonstrated daily and are the foundation for a strong organization that is capable of providing essential services while also responding in emergency or high-pressure situations. Our employees care about the community they serve, and I believe it shows in their work. Like all employers, we must continue to adapt to the employment environment and be an outstanding workplace. I'm sure that many of you here today who operate a business are well aware of these challenges. Bowling Green is fortunate that we have many long-term employees. As these employees begin to retire, we are excited by the energy and perspective of new employees who are joining our team, conveying to the next generation the value of working in local government is one of our missions. For example, our Human Resource Department has a goal to recruit and retain the best talent to provide the highest quality services to this community. As the employment market changes, hiring and retaining talented employees has been challenging. The HR department is using new approaches to reach quality candidates and then assist them as new employees. This has included using different advertising approaches and a new digital application process. I was really surprised to learn that studies have shown that more than 50% of Gen Zs will only apply for a job if they can do so on their smartphones, meaning this new tool is important and is really critical for attracting our target employment market. As we bring on new employees, we are utilizing a digital onboarding system to improve pre-employment engagement and connections with our new hires. To retain our employees, we're making efforts to look at our competitiveness in the workplace and examining all of our benefits. We all know that workplace satisfaction is an important component for job performance, and we seek to be proactive in these and all other areas of employment. Now, as we move to 2024, there is much to be excited about in Bowling Green. I sincerely mean this. We will see all sides of the planning spectrum in 2024. We'll see items long planned come to fruition, and some that have been in development will continue to move closer to fulfillment. And we will maintain our ongoing efforts to address current community needs and opportunities. And we will lay the groundwork for future growth and success. Projects that will come to fruition in 2024 include those outdoor pickleball courts that will be installed adjacent to the community center. As I mentioned earlier, over $110,000 has been raised by enthusiasts committed to this growing recreational opportunity here in Bowling Green. These funding efforts, combined with the ARPA funding, will propel this project forward towards construction very soon, hopefully before the end of the year, but we'll see. All ARPA-funded projects will be under contract before the end of 2024, or they will become part of the city's capital budget project funds in order to avoid the requirement to return funds to the federal government. We will work to ensure that every penny of ARPA funding allocated to our city remains in our city. Anticipated new housing developments this year will include both single and multi-family housing projects. The temporary suspension of fees that I mentioned previously will continue through 2024. This program has garnered a lot of interest from several housing developers. Again, I want to stress that we recognize the need to have manageable growth that is sustainable. We can't lose sight of investing in our current wonderful neighborhoods, but we also can't ignore that there are people who want to live in our community who cannot do so due to the lack of housing availability. Maintaining existing housing assets while also managing development of new housing options are not mutually exclusive. I believe that we can do both. However, we must do so with intention and awareness of these outcomes on both current and future residents. This consideration of growth highlights how important it is to work as a community. For example, we need to be working with our schools as residential expansions are proposed. The city has a defined and effective public process for annexations, changes of use, and subdivisions. As we discuss these items, these impacts are weighed and other community stakeholders are invited to the table. An important 2024 project will be the construction of an additional clarifier that will significantly enhance the capacity of the wastewater treatment plant on Dunbridge Road. Clarifiers are essential for separating solids from the liquid and wastewater, and by increasing the number of clarifiers, the plant can handle a larger volume of wastewater with improved efficiency. This is a really significant investment that will support future community growth. Some other current and ongoing work that will be addressed in 2024 include the paving of Gypsy Lane Road, paving of Pearl Street, and also the paving of Sandridge Road. We will also install a pedestrian hybrid beacon at West Worcester and Maple Street, and a rapid flashing beacon will be installed at Sandridge and Maple Street. Some projects that are in development and are moving closer to fulfillment are the next phase of the recently completed Safe Routes to School Travel Plan. We will now move into the implementation phase and begin to seek funding for projects that will improve pedestrian and bicycle safety to and from our local schools. Downtown improvements that were identified by last year's downtown forward planning will include alleyway improvements, wayfinding, public art installations, and those previously mentioned historic signs in our downtown area. This is an opportunity for me to mention again and reinforce my belief that I believe our downtown is one of our most significant community assets, and it's important that we are consistently seeking ways to improve that downtown area in an effort to support that part of our community. In 2024, we will formulate a plan to address needs in our police and fire facilities. In the last two State of the City addresses, I've shared concerns about the city's safety facilities, specifically the Court Street Fire Station and the police station on West Worcester Street. It's important that we proactively plan to address these concerns. Regarding the Court Street Fire Station, there are major structural deficiencies in the building. Additionally, there's an aging HVAC system, and the roof and plumbing systems are in desperate need of replacement. The facility is outdated for today's workplace and does not support the safe and efficient delivery of fire and ambulance services. These challenges include a living space that is above the engine room, where vehicles are driving into and out of all day long, every day, with exhaust permeating into the living quarters above. In addition, this facility was built for an all-male workforce, and I'm really pleased to say that this is no longer representative of this division, as we have hired, three female firefighters recently in Bowling Green, a source of great pride for all of us. Also, the physical size of the vehicle bays do not fit with the size of today's equipment. In regard to the police station, we remain committed to keeping the police station located in the heart of downtown Bowling Green. In the period of time since the last community investment in this facility, the nature of policing has changed. In order for our police to continue to serve and meet the needs of the community, the police station needs significant building renovation, including a reconfiguration of the existing space, new windows and sills, masonry rehabilitation, HVAC equipment, and a new appropriately sized emergency dispatch center, and also an appropriately sized emergency generator. I mentioned dispatch. This department has reached capacity in the current space, and we really will need to program an enlarged space for this operation within the building. The city purchased the former small bank adjacent to the police facility to allow for this expansion. In addition to our responsibility to forecast future needs and stay ahead of concerns, we must also consider in these conversations that we are a growing community. As discussed previously, large capital investments are years in development, and therefore we must discuss in earnest considerations for how we will ensure the reliability and quality of our safety services. To that end, citizens can anticipate the opportunity this summer to engage with city officials in conversations about how to address these issues. By starting these conversations now, it is our hope to formulate a plan over the next year about how to move forward. Finally, some other current ongoing projects. I already said that. Okay, although infrastructure demands associated with supporting a growing community have put acute pressure on several of the city's departments, this has not slowed our momentum. As mentioned earlier, projects of this scope require significant resources to plan, engineer, design, build, and implement, in many cases requiring years prior to installation. At the forefront of all of our planning decisions, maintaining the continued financial strength of the city will allow us to respond to changing conditions, to meet the needs of the community, and to strengthen the city's resolve to align with and support the goals of our strategic partners at Bowling Green Economic Development. These goals are infrastructure and utility development, which includes optimizing planning, funding, and partnerships for beneficial land development and expanding municipal utilities. Encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship to create a community culture of innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship, making Bowling Green the Northwest Ohio hub for all of these activities. Sustained economic growth to attract, retain, and facilitate the expansion of industrial, professional, and commercial businesses. And finally, improve the quality of life by collaborating and participating in community development efforts that enhance the quality of life here in Bowling Green. I chose to focus today's address on recent and upcoming project completions in order to demonstrate our commitment to all of you and everyone who lives in, works in, and visits our community. For all that has been said today, and for many other reasons, I am confident that this positive momentum has us positioned for success well into the future. Bowling Green is a strong and vibrant community, and I am grateful and humbled to serve as the mayor of our city. Past investments in our community have contributed to today's successes, and today's planning, investment, and partnership efforts will lay the groundwork for continued success well into the future. I encourage all of us to continue to recognize our shared community wins and to commit ourselves to build upon them in order to assure the future prosperity of Bowling Green. Concludes my address this morning. I want to thank all of you for attending and thank all of you very much for all that you do for the city of Bowling Green. Thank you.
Mayor Osbacher, that was very enlightening for anyone who hasn't kept up with all the innovation and the strides that this city has made over the past year. Thank you so much to you, your administration, everyone with the city. So appreciate appreciate that very much. I did want to mention, thank you to Bowling Green Economic Development for sponsoring the event today, and for Big B Coffee for providing coffee and donuts. There are additional out there, so please help yourself on the way out. Thank you all for attending. Have a great day.